Saturday, 27th of December, 2025 at 2:22 p.m. here in Monnickendam, North Holland, Kingdom of Netherlands. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. This is your Dev and Design podcast where we have accountability and you, I guess, get entertainment? Who knows what it is? I'm your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
222, make a wish. I guess that's a thing.
Is that? It sounds like a numerological thing.
Sounds like a numerological thing.
11:11,
Hey,
12:12.
you always let us know in the comments. 2:22 p.m. You do every time. We had a lovely Christmas.
Yeah.
We had a lovely Boxing Day. Accidentally, we fell into the Dutch tradition of the day after Christmas, which colloquially in like British culture is known as Boxing Day, or Canadian culture. And there was an accidental, like, amazing brunch that Trey and I had. It was pretty great, actually.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. We just, unfortunately, like, I think it was reservation only, and like reservations were booked out, but they got us in anyway.
But you know, the Dutch,
it was great.
They're just lovely people. They're just like, you know what? You seem like a couple of Americans. Like, everyone else is dressed nice and you're in sweats. Fine, we'll seat you.
And I had mustard soup, which was fantastic.
Who knew? This is a thing.
Yeah, I need a recipe for mustard soup now.
Recipe for mustard soup coming up, or this is coming up today, an orgy of envelopes. We'll talk a little bit more about what that episode title means. You may have figured out from the art, the cover art of the episode, that there are going to be lots of flying envelopes of love coming at you today. We will talk about
Smacking
that.
you in the face.
Smacking in the face. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Trey's agony and ecstasy with moving the stuff over from bun.
It's done.
Moving the stuff
That's
over
the
to
important
bun.
part.
Excuse me. It's almost done. Right? It's very close to being done.
Well, yeah.
You know, we'll get to it later.
We'll get to it later.
But before we get to all that, we always start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry, are you ready for it?
No.
I know. I don't even know if I'm ready to ask it. That's how bad this is right now. Let's go. So there are envelopes that are going to be flying. It's made me think about the mail system and like the idea of properly mailing something. You have a two-part question that you can answer. Either part is fine. One is a little bit more mundane. One's a little bit more fanciful. The mundane question is, when is the last time that you, honest to goodness, actually sent somebody, not a company, like some person, a letter? Do you remember what that is? Or the more fanciful question, if you don't want to go down that path, is if you had to move from electronic communications back to paper communications, what have you learned about electronic communications that you would bring into your paper communications once again?
Yeah, that second part is interesting because I think it's kind of more the other way around. Like, I think we've lost something in kind of long form communication through email and instant messaging and things like this.
But it would be longer. That's the point. First of all, it's always
yeah,
but
longer. that's how snail mail it should inform how we communicate digitally.
That's
not
true.
The other way around.
That's
so
true.
It is interesting to think about, like, what have we learned about messaging in the digital realm that could inform better snail mail? Which is
just to be like, one thing, just as a side point, like, I hadn't thought about this. Like, I am way more tolerable of a long form message if it is on paper, written out, or even typed out, rather than an email.
If you send me an email and it's super long, I'm like, TLDR.
But even if I print out that email, I still don't want to read it. I don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
It's like there's something about the idea of like getting an envelope of something that is special, I think. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think, you know.
Oh, by the way, we didn't even notice this. Like, I'm wearing, look at this. Look at what I'm wearing. You're, whoa. Whoa, there it is.
I'm trying not to screw up the mic.
I'm trying not to screw up anything. Anyways, looking good with your cosmic hoodie.
Yeah.
I would say pre-order them now, but these are very custom until we can make some money. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Henry.
Back to the check-in question.
As
far as the first part of that question, I really could not tell you the last time that I sent an honest to goodness letter. I think it probably has to be one of our Christmas cards.
Oh yeah, that would have been like 2012, 2011.
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier.
That's the only thing I can think of.
An honest to goodness letter.
Yeah, an honest to goodness letter. Although Yeah.
If you notice my
Yeah,
camera
no.
shaking, it's because my dog is licking himself while bumping the table.
He gets very excited when we do our videos because we're talking, and then he's like, "Yeah,
I don't know.
whatever."
He's on my nerves. All right, anyways, keep going.
No, I don't really know that I have that much.
But what is the other than being long form? Is there something else that you think we should be bringing into our digital communications?
Yeah, I think it's really just kind of like, because letter writing because it had a higher sort of barrier to entry. In some ways, it was like paper cost money, pen and ink cost money, and then sending something in the mail is kind of like would take a little bit of time. And so there was more like, when you see these correspondences with people that have been published posthumously and things like this from like, I'm thinking about like, I don't know, like H.P. Lovecraft like wrote a bunch of letters, many of which contained like horrible racist garbage. But they were relatively long and kind of like there was an art form to the type of like long form communication that a written letter would have. And we just don't really have that in the digital realm. It's like everything is expected to be sort of like instantaneous, communicate your message to me as quickly as possible. I haven't got time for it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess this goes back to our Boxing Day lunch, which was supposed to be this very quick lunch that was supposed to be in and out, right? Like we wanted to get lunch, go back to work.
Yeah.
We ended up accidentally at a holiday lunch that was a prix-fille 3-course menu that took a long time. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, eating is delightful. Like being around people is delightful. Having conversation is delightful. And then there's something about long form communications that's delightful as well. We have a friend who is currently packing up their stuff to try to figure out like what they're going to take with them. They're moving overseas. And what they're going to leave behind, a huge decision. I have a lot of empathy for that problem, like given that it has been very recent again in my mind about that.
Yeah.
And one thing that this person has is a bunch of stuff from their mother. And I was like, would you take anything from your mother? I said, and they were like, not really. Like, it's cool stuff and all, but like, I wish that my mother had letters. I wish, like, what letters also provide, and I think the magic of these letters, like long form communication, is that there's a certain like thoughtfulness to them, which is to the long form communication, and therefore they reflect something deeper inside of you than something that is passive, ethereal.
Yeah, that's
electronic.
Because I've been thinking about this too in relation to like journaling, which is something like writing a thoughtful letter to yourself, or it can be. I think
it should be. I think.
Yeah, and
we're all about second person journaling, by the way, in this household.
Yeah, it's second person perspective or whatever. Because I think when you look at, we have a friend who does archival stuff like professionally, like a archivist. And like has to go through, sort of people's lives after they have passed and kind of like consolidate all of their stuff. Usually it's kind of like famous people or whatever. And when you see these like journals that sometimes are archived, they're like beautifully written and they're kind of these gorgeous artifacts all on their own. And I think about my own attempts at journaling and my Good Notes database like spit out as an artifact, like please burn it. It's horrible.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so, and like even my my notes system is very it's very like factual, like atomic facts, because I use it as kind of like a database of experience. But yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something.
I think the idea is like getting insight into your ancestors or elders' minds through long form communication is great. But for some reason, at least from our American perspective, only living in Europe again for about 2 weeks, we still have this mindset of like, communication is a function. It is there, especially for like journaling or yourself, to be like a thing that like is very passive and ethereal, and that these things should not live on, or we don't even want them to live on beyond itself. And I wrote a letter to Trey's aunt and uncle before we left, because I was like, I haven't written a letter and sent a letter in such a long time. And I was just talking about like what Trey and I have been up to. And I was just like, what a delightful thing.
Yeah. Like Jake mentioned, we had stumbled into this amazing post-Christmas holiday brunch thing, which turned out to just be absolutely wonderful. And when we were talking about that experience of like expecting to, actually wanted to get takeout initially. And so like expecting to just like get something really quickly and then go back and continue working. The mindset is that the experience of eating is a distraction from the thing
things
that
you should be doing.
Right, exactly. So if your expectation is like, well, the things that are meaningful to do should have as few distractions as possible, then something like a long lunch interrupting that feels like it is distracting from the thing that is most important. But when you switch your perspective to say, actually, the experience that I'm having right now with this amazing brunch is as important as work. It's as important as anything else that I could possibly be doing right now. Then all of a sudden it ceases to be a distraction from the thing that's important, and it itself becomes important.
Yeah. Long form communications, long form brunches, long form.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the 2026 that is in store for you. We'll find out.
The long form 2026.
The long form 2026. I actually don't mind
a tax document.
I do not mind that. And you know what? Minus the implications that it does sound a little bit like a tax document. I like the thought of it. Mr. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about your, like I said, agony and ecstasy with the rebunning?
The bunning. This is our homepage. This is currently on staging, and
looks the same.
It looks the same. Actually, if I brought up production and staging side by side, you would notice that there are some very subtle differences.
Yes.
But all of this now, like we talked about this before, but like these buttons are exactly the same buttons as in the application.
It all uses one source of truth.
It all uses one source of truth.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah, and all of this templating on the client. So like if I go like into the downloads page, but all of this stuff basically is the same, but it is being rendered with a completely different templating engine, and it's not actually even templates, it's React server-side components, and which is very similar to the kind of code that we write for the application. So it really brings all of this stuff into alignment. And as we talked about before, you can't tell, because this is running in staging, what the difference is on the impact to the server per request, but just know that it is drastically faster. And so that also reduces our cost to serve, as we've talked about in the past. But yeah, anyway, it's up, it's running, it's in staging. It's not quite ready to deliver to.
There's a couple problems.
There's a bug, which I actually don't think is a code bug. I think it's like not our code bug, but we might have to work around it. That has to do with JSON Web Tokens and how they work. But anyway, so this, I think, it's really great. I'm very glad that we will have this in the rearview mirror now, because it will make the rest of the work that we need to do for like synchronization and all of the stuff that we're bringing in our like V1 release will be built on this, same platform of stuff.
Yeah.
Which would just be a lot better.
So another thing that Trey had done whilst doing the bun stuff that was already in progress was working through the account setup thing. So you need to be able to create an account. You need to be able to use that account. Like some of those things are wired up right now, but the thing that we wanted to show you was the creation of the account. And then there's a moment where we have to verify your email address. And then you do your email verification, and then we excitedly tell you, great, you've done that. And it is such a mundane thing to do, of like, go to your email to click a button, go back to this thing to look at this thing. And I wasn't really excited to do these pages. And like selfishly, it's because these pages are so mundane. And I thought to myself, I'm the designer, the sole designer. I'm the CEO of this company. If I can't get excited about the thing, then we got it's a problem now. So.
And I did file tickets on you for once I got the base pages in there, I was like,
yeah,
fancify this.
You filed 2 tickets to me that here, we can get to them right now. So let me show you these tickets.
Yeah, exactly this. It should feel like a party.
So yeah, and good on Trey for being like, they created an account, should feel like a party. Also make your account as verified, a party. And I wasn't, for a while, I was just like, what am I going to do? Like write some, like you can, I don't know. It just, I wasn't super excited about it. But hey, look, let's go through the entire experience, including the email that you get from Postmark. Mr. Henry, could you show that off to us?
I think so.
All right, let's get your screen going.
Okay, I am here on the Create a Cosmic account page. And I am going to, you know what the tricky part here is going to be is if when I pull up this, you're going to have to edit out because I might have untoward mails.
That's fine. So Trey's going to create a kind of phony fake email address here so that his account will work, like the account creation will work here. And he's just going to put in a test password. He's going to create an account.
The password is definitely not my name 3 times.
Yeah. Don't try to log in with that. 1Password would like you to save that. We of course don't want to save that kind of thing. Ooh, you're one step closer to the stars. And here we are. This is the title of the episode. Here is your orgy. Was it the Orgy of Envelopes? Is that what I called it?
Yeah, something. I'm just going to show light mode here.
So yeah, it's in light mode as well. Light mode is weirder.
Yeah, it is weirder.
Dark mode.
Like some of them like overlap each other in fun ways.
I tried to like make them less weird, but you know what?
Yeah.
We're into weird.
Yeah,
okay,
it's all good.
So yeah, then you get the Orgy of Envelopes.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you're one step closer. Sorry, better go look at your email. So in fast mail, it looks a little bit funny, but you want to know, I've been watching emails now for a while. Everybody has this issue in fast mail.
Yeah, it's weird. I think fast mail is
Fast mail does a bad thing.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's because it's a web app. I think it's leaking some styles into like, I thought that this would be an iframe, but maybe it's not. Anyway,
You want to know?
it looks much better if you look at it not in the fast mail client.
Here's how dire the fast mail dark mode situation is with their emails. I'm also gonna have to probably edit out my emails here, but like it looks good on the mail client here. But on Fastmail, it looks bad because Fastmail is doing a thing that like Outlook used to do back in the day, but Outlook corrected itself. But for some reason, Fastmail has not. Now in light mode, that email looks fantastic. It's just a dark mode problem.
We're here, and then I'm just going to drop in that verify link, and then we hit this page.
And we shout Fortuna at you. And you'll notice that the horns, there's less horns, and they move slower because,
Party.
Yeah, mail moves swiftly through the universe, but the party lingers.
But the party has only started.
The party always lingers. So
I love those pages. I really, really love them. I think it's really indicative of a consumer product that cares. Like, why would we do that if we didn't want you to feel like you signed up for an account? That's amazing.
Yeah. And if you are someone that has problems with motion because of accessibility issues, or that just makes you feel sick, and you had gone into your OS settings and said, I prefer reduced motion, those things go away.
Yeah,
because also, the best kind of party is an accessible party.
Yeah. We do that in the app as well.
Yeah, so, of course. We do all types of things for you in the app. Now, it's not perfect. We're getting there.
Yeah. I mean, we do really want to have a super accessible astrology app.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not quite there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Why don't you ask me what the good viewer should do, Mr. Henry?
Mr. Zukowski, what should the good viewer do today?
I think you should think about what long form 2026 looks like for you. In 2026, we're using the long form. We're not using the short form anymore.
Yeah.
Let's go for the long form.
Yeah. What's that mean?
What does that mean to you? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. You do every week. Take care, be well, have yourself a beautiful rest of your December. We will see you in 2026, and we will, of course, see you next week. We love seeing your faces every single week. And let's keep the journey going. And goodbye.
Bye.